Good morning, students. So, our next lesson is National Movement in India, Partition and Independence, 1939 1947. Okay, already you know that our country was ruled by Britishers and occupied by the Britishers. So, first national movement was started in the year 1857 by soldiers. So, at the time, all the people like ordinary man, soldiers, business people, okay, next princely people all joined with them to fight against the Britishers. So in 1885 to 1918, the first phase of national movement was started. Later, 1989 to 1938. So the final phase of national movement was 1939 to 1947. So at the time, so our country faced very difficult problems. Okay. So we faced two world wars before independence. So at the time of final phase of national movement, there was a second world war going on. So when the war started in 1939, most of the provinces, means states of India, were governed by Congress ministers. So before Second World War in 1937, so elections were conducted in India. Okay, so British government agreed to conduct elections in some provinces. In that way, British Parliament passed the Government of India Act in 1935. So according to this, they conducted elections from some provinces. So then winning parties could form governments. So however, in that elections, they had given only about 12% voting rights. 12% of people got the voting rights in provincial assemblies and 1% for the central assemblies. Based on their land holding capacity, they got the voting rights at the time. So when elections were held in the assemblies of 11 provinces of British India in 1937, Congress won in most provinces. 8 out of 11 provinces had a Congress prime ministers working under the supervision of the British governor. So, Britishers were not given more freedom to us to rule those provinces also. So, these prime ministers. So, at the time, chief ministers were called prime ministers, could rule those provinces under the supervision of a British governor. So the world war was going on. So at the time, our national leaders or Congress leaders facing a difficult situation. So what is that? So should they help the British in fighting the war against Germany, Japan, Italy, and other Axis powers? So actually, so our country was under the rule of Britishers. So British is fighting against the Germany, Japan, and Italy. So on behalf of the Britishers, so forcefully we should participate in the Second World War. So Britain had decided that India will participate in the war without even asking them, without consulting our leaders. They decided that India will participate in the war. So, because of these reason, some leaders for with the fight against the uh, these access powers, some are against it that. So the Congress leaders were divided into two groups on that issue. So most Congress leaders were opposed to Hitler and Mussolini and the ideology of fascism. So at the time, Hitler wanted to conquer the whole world, and they wanted to fight against the fascist drive to conquer other sovereign nations. So not here the basic idea is they want to oppose the Hitler, not to support to Britishers. Okay, so the Congress expected that the British would see their double standard in the expectation that India should support them in fighting the fascists, but not giving India full freedom. So at the time, India, our leaders expected. So after the World War, the British may give the full freedom, but Britishers were not interested. They were on double standard. What is that? They need support from India, but they don't want to give the freedom to India. So they want to continue their rule in our country. So the British realized this, but at the same time, it was shared for. It was hard for them to accept that they will really have to dismantle the empire they had built. Okay, there were different political parties in Britain at the time of the war. Britain had an all-party government headed by Prime Minister Winston Churchill of the Conservative Party. The Conservatives wanted to maintain the empire for as long as possible in India. So coalition government was there in Britain at the time of Second World War. So the Prime Minister was belong to Conservative Party. The Conservative Party want to continue the rule in India, but the other party, opposition party, that was Labour Party, was more willing to help Indians get their freedom. Okay, there are different opinions between parties in Britain. So at the time, our leader Mahatma Gandhi also wrote letter to Hitler about the Second World War. Okay, so the British were willing to give the status of dominion to control to India under the British crown soon after the war. But our leaders wanted a promise of complete freedom for India to participate in Second World War or to support to Britain. So in the same time, Congress also demanded that an immediate national government should be set up at the center. So means the authority should be handed over to the Indians. The British objected to this by saying that they have to also protect the interest of several other communities in India. So to drag that situation, to continue their control on the India, say they looked for other reasons. Okay, so what they said, they are having some responsibilities to protect the other communities in India. So what is the meaning of that? That means that Congress did not represent all Indians like Muslims. So they are trying to implement the divide and rule policy in India to continue their rule, to continue their power in our country. So they also implemented that Congress may be ignoring the interest of many Indians. So the British were required to protect these interests. Okay, next. So the government had got special war time powers to maintain law and order, to be able to focus on winning the war. So at the time, if anyone oppose the government, could be punished. So at the time, our leaders protested peacefully by conducting individual satyagrahas between 1940 and 1941. So no major mass protest was launched at this time. So the Congress was upset that the British refuses to promise freedom to India and decided to walk out of the provincial governments, so which is elected in 1947. So all the Congress ministers who had come to power in 1937 resigned immediately in October 1937. Within 2 years, so those governments were fell. Next. Here the question is, so who represents the people of the country? So some doubts created by the Britishers between the people. So now that in the Indian people were revolting against the British rule, so those were upset. Britishers were upset. So they looked for chance to punish the Congress and make it weak and unpopular among the people. Why? Because so those were not supported Britishers in the Second World War. That's why they want to make make Congress unpopular in the people. So the British started questioning the right of the Congress to represent the people of the country. Now they followed the divide and rule policy more vigorously. Okay, they implemented divide and rule policy in every colonial country worldwide, but now at this time in India they implemented this policy very vigorously. So to achieve this, to divide the Indian people into different parts, the government supported, the British government supported and encouraged the plans of the Muslim League and gave little importance to the Congress. Up to now, Congress was the more influenced organization in India, but the British government started giving little importance to the Congress. In this period, the Muslim League and its leaders like Muhammad Ali Jinnah became more active in mass politics. So, with the help of Britishers, and at the same time, all the leaders of Congress were sent to jail at the time of 1940 and 41. So, at the time, the Muhammad Ali Jinnah utilized the time to increase his domination in their society. Okay, next. The Muslim League. So we'll discuss about Muslim League, how it is formed and how it is become more powerful in our country. So Muslim League was formed in 1906. So previously the Muslim Muhammad Ali Jinnah was also the member of the National Congress. He was worked along with Mahatma Gandhi. So till the 1930s, it mainly represented to the interest of Muslim landlords of UP. So that was not spread into the India. So that was restricted up to UP, Uttar Pradesh only. That too, they supported Muslim landlords and did not have much mass support. It had demanded that British should create a separate seats in all councils for which only Muslims would vote. So, so to represent on behalf of the Muslims, they demanded create some councils for them only. Okay, where the Muslim majority was there. Okay, usually Hindus were elected because of more Hindu domination is there in our country. So even the Congress was also accepted the demand and logic and separate elections were implemented from 1909 for Muslim constituencies. So when provincial governments were elected in 1937, so first that was the first elections in our country before independence under the British rule. The League won one or two of the 482 Muslim seats in the country. So you have to understand here. So because of demand of Muslim League, Congress was also accepted to create the seats for Muslim. So here 482 Muslim seats reserved for Muslims. So out of 400 and here means these are reserved for Muslims means so there only Muslim people should contest in elections. No other religion people should not contest. So out of 482 only 102 seats were elected by Muslim League. Means there was no support from the people. Okay. However, the Congress also fought elections on the Muslim seats. So because it believed that it was national party and not a party of only Hindus. So Congress party was followed the democratic policies. So that's why there was also contested in Muslim reserved constituencies. Okay, like that. So the Congress won 26 out of the 58 Muslim seats it had contested out of 482. So Congress was contested for only 58 seats out of 58. They won 26. So remaining seats elected some Muslim leaders either belongs to some other parties or independents. Okay, like that. So in 1937, what you have to understand is in 1937 the Muslim League got only 4.4% of the total Muslim votes in the election. That is important. So out of total Muslim votes, 100% Muslim votes, they got only 4.4 votes. Means only 5 people out of 100 supported the Muslim League. So the Muslim League was popular in the United Provinces like Bombay and Madras only. However, it was quite weak in the 3 provinces from which Pakistan was to be made just 10 years later. So those were very weak. Where in 3 places, okay, from which Pakistan was to be made just 10 years later. That is Bengal, the north west frontier province now in Pakistan and Punjab. Even in Sindh, it failed to form a government. Okay, but the situation changed in the next 10 years. In 1946, when elections were held again for the provincial and central assemblies, that League succeeded in winning the Muslim seats. What happened between these 10 years? That is more important. Okay. So the League pointed out many issues. So they tried to blame the Congress. So Congress was insensitive to the needs of Muslims. For example, they have taken some issues, that is those were the Congress refused to form a coalition government with the Muslim League in the United Provinces where it too had won many seats. So they asked support from Congress to form the government in some areas like Madras and Bombay. So at the time, Congress was refused to support the Muslim League. So they highlighted that issue. The Congress had banned its members from taking membership of the Muslim League. So because Congress was the secular party. So if the people take the membership in Muslim League, then the Congress will be blamed. So that's why they banned. So Congress members could be members of the Hindu Mahasabha before. So why? Because Hindu Mahasabha was established in the year of 1860. So to unite the people in almost in Telugu areas and around southern India. So most of the leaders were members on that party. So, but this was also banned from 1938 only after objection from Muslim congressmen like Maulana Azad. So, thus the League created this impression that Congress was basically a Hindu party and did not want to share power with the Muslims. So, the Muslim League highlighted those issues and got popular in the Muslim community. Okay, next the Hindu Mahasabha and the RSS. So at the time, during this period, the Hindu Mahasabha and the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh, a national cultural organization, were mobilized the Hindus. So this Hindu Mahasabha actually established to unite the people. So these organizations wished to unite all the Hindus and overcome the divisions of caste and sect to reform their social life. So for that purpose they established. They also gave out the message that India was the land of the Hindus who were in a majority. Many congressmen were also impressed with the activities of these organizations. Next, Congress tried very hard to create a secular understanding among its members. So they banned to take membership in Muslim League as well as Hindu Mahasabha. Okay, so it also tried to connect with the Muslim masses and make them feel secure. So they wanted to change the wrong impression that was being created in their minds by the messages and activities of organizations like the Muslim League, the Hindu Mahasabha and the RSS. So Congress argued that Hindus and Muslims were not people of two different nations but part and parcel of an Indian nation. So however, the British were eagerly listening to the fears of the League about Hindu domination and suggesting ways to make the Muslims secure. So they supported Muhammad Ali Jinnah and Muslim League to improve their strength in India, and they try to divide the people in India. So like that, so the partition demand was raised at the time of independence. So next part of the lesson we will discuss in the next class. Thank you.